On the news, Rivers Governor Fubara slams Wike and Rivers Assembly members amid crisis in the state. APC members ask court to sack Ganduje as a national chairman. And the Information Minister assures federal government not considering any foreign military base in Nigeria. Thank you for joining us on News Now. I'm Simisola Atiku. Governor of Rivers, Siminalayi Fubara, has criticized the attitude of members of the State House of Assembly towards his administration, saying the existence of members is based on his recognition. Fubara spoke on Monday when some political and traditional leaders from Bayelsa State visited him at the Government House in Port Harcourt to seek an end to the political crisis in Rivers State and an improved relationship between both states. Speaking to the delegation, which was led by the former governor of Bayelsa State, Siriake Dixon, the governor said he accepted the peace deal initiated by President Bola Tinubu on the understanding that there was a relationship between him and members of the State House of Assembly. While lamenting the intimidation and attacks faced by his supporters in the state, Fubara says he has shown restraint in the political crisis rocking the state despite his powers, adding that the other party did not show such.
I've acted as a big brother in the course of this crisis. I have not acted like a young man that should want the house to be destroyed, but I've behaved like a matured young man that I am, because I know that no meaningful thing can be achieved in an atmosphere of crisis. I've subjected myself to every meeting of reconciliation for peace. And what happens? It is each time we come out from one meeting, we are faced with one thunder or lightning. Let me say it here. The young people, those group of men who claim that are assembly members, are not assembly members. They are not existing. I want it to be on record. I accepted that peace accord. I accepted that peace accord to give them a floating. That's the truth. There was nothing in that peace accord that's a constitutional issue. It's a political solution to a problem. And I accepted it because these were people that were eating in my house. These were people that have helped pay their children's school fees when I wasn't even a governor. So what is the thing there? Yeah, we might have a division, but I believe that one day we could also come together. And that was the reason I did it. But I think it's according to a time when I need to make a statement on this thing, so that they understand that they're not existing. Their existence is me allowing them to exist. If I de-recognize them, they are nowhere. You don't know what I'm going through. I'm working with my own enemies. Imagine where your commissioner, your attorney general will go to sabotage you. It's as bad as that. But they will all they will get their reward. Not in this world, though. In this world.
Well, let's discuss this ongoing political crisis in Rivers State further. I'm now joined by legal expert Evans Ufeli. Thank you for your time, sir. Now, what do you think has made this crisis between Governor Fubara and his predecessor, Nyesom Wike, escalate to this point, despite the peace deal initiated by President Bola Tinubu?
Well, it has escalated for two major reasons. One is the orchestration of problem from Wike, who have his army in Rivers State, wherein they have consistently shown their loyalty to him. And so he goes around making inflammatory statements and statements that purely exhibit the fact that he does not want peace to reign in the Rivers State. That is one. Two, he has willing forces whom he has been able to sway them out of the PDP, whereas he is still in PDP, and those persons who formed the State House of Assembly, have been venting and making a lot of issues. Like Fubara said, truly, he's the one that is even causing the problem. He's the one, condoning them. He calls it maturity, whatever that means. But the truth is that these guys, the very day they moved, 27 of them, from APC from PDP to APC, that's the day they lost their seats. So if we want to actually enhance the provision of the Constitution, it is on Fubara's order to do that. If he wants them if he takes the right decision to follow the law, they will be displaced and they'll be out of place. So what he has allowed them to fester, he has allowed them to continue. He has listened to the president who brought an agreement, which they call a political solution, that have actually created more problem than unsolved any. We have said this on and over again, that Fubara must come to the point where we allow the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to reign, to have its way in that state, so that those who think they can actually lead the state from outside, we have a rude awakening when the constitutional provisions are invoked against.
Unfortunately, we lost legal expert Evans Ofeli there. While to security matters, the federal government says it is not considering establishing any foreign military base in Nigeria. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris, in a statement on Monday, described as false reports in certain quarters that the Nigerian government is considering siting such military bases in the country. According to the minister, the federal government enjoys the cooperation of international partners in tackling security challenges, but does not consider any proposal for the establishment of any foreign military base in the country. Lending his thoughts on the matter, security expert, retired Captain Yahaya Umar, says the stationing of foreign military bases in Nigeria will undermine the nation's authority and create chaos.
In our own foreign partnership, we never had a situation where they deploy their personnel permanently or having base in Nigeria. The history of them putting their base in any country is very dangerous. Look at what is happening in the Middle East, where they have their military base. Look at what is happening in Asian countries, places like Afghanistan, where they put their military for decades. This insecurity was not being resolved. So Nigeria being the hub of Africa and West Africa, if we give them any chance, they can use the opportunity to create a chaos situation, a situation that we cannot be able to resolve it. America, being the police of the world, being the mother of democracy, at times they overstep their boundary in terms of intention. We don't know what is their motive. Look at what is happening in Niger. The Niger government are complaining of exploitation of their natural resources by France. And even the insecurity that we are talking about today, do you know that America have the anti-terrorist troops in Niger? According to some source, that is where they even train the terrorists that they send to other countries. Now, if we allow them to form a base here, that base can be misused. They can even use it.
Well, there seems to be no end in sight to the crisis rocking the All Progressives Congress, as another group of party members, as the APC North Central Forum, have asked a court in Abuja to sack the national chairman of the party, Abdullahi Ganduje, for allegedly holding the position unlawfully. This group of APC stakeholders based in Plateau State filed a lawsuit at the Federal High Court in Abuja on Monday, insisting that the national chairmanship position is meant for the North Central geopolitical zone and that Ganduje, who is from the Northwest, should be removed for the rightful person from Nasarawa State or any part of the North Central. They maintain that the party is bound to comply with its constitutional provisions on the replacement of an officer in the event of a vacancy. Frontline Anti-Corruption civil society organizations have again advised the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) to toe the path of the rule of law and discontinue giving credence to the impression that its anti-corruption mandate is being politicized by some persons whose intentions are not patriotic. The activists led by the chairman, Center for Anti-Corruption and Open Leadership, Kakol Debwateniro in Lagos on Tuesday, says due processes of the law must be followed to the letter and unconditionally. They advised the legal teams of the commission to pay more attention to the technicalities of their cases before presenting them in court.
In the current matter between the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, and the immediate governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Yahya Bello, our position remains that the due process or processes of law must be followed to the letter and unconditionally. As you may have noticed recently, more prominent Nigerians, including legal luminaries and politically exposed persons, are coming out to speak the truth to power on this matter of arrogant disobedience of lawful order of the court. With the way the Commission has handled the Yahya Bello's case thus far, especially the gesticle style employed and the threat of military invasion to arrest him, we advise that caution be applied so that credence is not given to the insinuation in certain quarters that some forces are after his life, that is the life of Yahya Bello, at all costs, and are afraid that he might not even be safe in EFCC's custody.
We seriously advise for caution on all sides while we continue to be on the side of the rule of law. Like we have continually said from the beginning, it is on the side of the law, irrespective of whatever emotion or sentiment anybody want to attach to this matter. We stand on the side of the law, we stand on the rule of law, and we are not going to compromise that for any reason.
As the nationwide supply and distribution of premium motor spirit (PMS), also known as petrol, continues to improve, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company NNPC Limited has cautioned against panic buying, saying it has over 1.5 billion liters of product in stock. In a statement issued by the company on Tuesday, the Chief Corporate Communications Officer Olufemi Shonaye revealed the 1.5 billion liters equals 30 days of product sufficiency. The company says it has monitored filling stations across several states, including Lagos and the FCT Abuja, and has noticed that fuel queues have since thinned out, a development it says will keep improving daily in other states. Senator Ali Ndume, representing Borno South, has voiced apprehensions regarding the recently renovated Red Chamber of the National Assembly, citing deficiencies that make it look like a conference hall rather than a legislative chamber. Plenary proceedings had been adjourned to Tuesday to allow necessary adjustments in the Senate chamber to meet the required standards and functionality expected of the National Assembly's legislative space. Speaking during a point of order session, Ndume highlighted areas of concern, including audio quality and seating arrangements that require immediate improvement.
This is not a chamber. This looks more like a conference room. It's supposed to be a chamber. Senators are supposed to be heard clearly. If you go and record what I'm speaking now, you will not know straight away that it is Senator Ndume that is speaking. So also when the leader was talking, we need to correct this. We need to change so many things, like the sitting. Now, if you want to stand up, you have to use strategy or tactics to stand up or to sit down. There is no voting device here. If we are to vote electronically, the facilities are not there. But previously, we had that. There is no clock here for senators to see what's the time, because maybe they have some commitment outside.
This is our second day in the chambers after the renovation, and I understand work is ongoing. Don't forget that this is not our contract. This was the contract that was given out under the previous administration and under the 9th Senate, not the 10th Senate. So, and then don't also forget that this is not even a National Assembly contract. The premises we occupy now, we are tenants. This premises belongs to Federal Capital Territory. And it is the Federal Capital, I said FCD, Federal Capital Development Authority, that renovated it. So if we have observations on inadequacies, we have to channel it to Federal Capital Development Authority for necessary corrections.
We'll take a break now, but coming up, Nigeria to ban person-to-person crypto trade in Nigeria. Stay with us for details. We'll be back shortly.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places, the Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On Digi 360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, and use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
Digi 360, dissecting the issues.
Welcome back. Here's a recap of our top stories. Governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, has criticized the attitude of members of the State House of Assembly towards his administration, saying the existence of members is based on his recognition. Fubara spoke on Monday when some political and traditional leaders from Bayelsa State visited him at the Government House in Port Harcourt to seek an end to the political crisis in Rivers State and an improved relationship between both states. The governor says that he has shown restraint in the political crisis rocking the state despite his powers, adding that the other party did not show such. We also told you that a group under the ruling All Progressives Congress as the North Central Forum has asked the court in Abuja to sack the national chairman of the party, Abdullahi Ganduje, for allegedly holding the position unlawfully. This group of APC stakeholders based in Plateau State filed a lawsuit at the Federal High Court in Abuja on Monday, insisting that the national chairmanship position is meant for the North Central geopolitical zone and that Ganduje, who is from the Northwest, should be removed for the rightful person from Nasarawa State or any part of North Central. In case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and AVO TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery, and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're TV360 Online. Well, for more stories in the world of business, let's join Joy Uchejim to keep us up to speed. What's happening, Joy?
Thank you, Simi. Welcome to Business News. Now, in its continuous efforts to improve the value of the nation's currency, the federal government has vowed to ban person-to-person cryptocurrency trading in the Naira. The Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Imomotimi Agama, who spoke during a meeting with fintech professionals on Monday, disclosed that new rules will be rolled out in the coming days covering crypto exchanges, digital asset custodians, and other corners of the sector. The warning follows Nigeria's ban on Binance Holdings Limited, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, and the arrest of 2 of its executives when they visited the country in February. Reacting to this development, crypto expert Success Ogbonna says the Nigerian government is trying to boycott the natural order of things, adding that the move will weaken crypto trade in Nigeria.
All these shutting down, attacking, removing the naira from P2P and all that, I feel it's just not. It's these are on. I don't know who's advising the government to toe this part, but that person is not really trying. That person is not really whatever advisor, whoever it is that is advising, is just making the government chase shadows. That's the truth. But I won't say 100% that these speculators are not doing any harm to the space. They are. They're actually doing some. They are doing a level of harm to the currency, to the value of the currency, but whatever harm they are doing is nothing compared to the harm that corruption is doing to the country. But there are bigger economic factors that play in increasing the value of the naira. So there are other countries who run this every day, right? Ghana, South Africa, and other African. Why is it Nigeria that we're having this? Why is it that it's only Nigeria that's trying to facing the crypto space in the continent? That's to tell you that it's more like we are chasing what we shouldn't be chasing. The issue of electricity is one. If put in place, right, to encourage production, projections, and refining of raw materials in the country.
Meanwhile, the Chief Executive Officer of Binance, Richard Teng, has expressed profound concern about what he called the unjust detention of one of its mid-level employees, Tigran Gambaryan, by the Nigerian government. This comes after Tigran and another Binance representative, Nadim Anjarola, attended a scheduled meeting with Nigerian government representatives in Abuja on February 26, 2024. In a statement released on Monday, Teng said Tigran did not attend the meeting as a decision-maker or negotiator, but as a functional expert in financial crime and policy discussions. He said despite Binance's willingness to cooperate with the Nigerian authorities and meet their demands, including resolving potential tax liabilities, the Nigerian government has refused to release Tigran. We'll take a short break and be back with stock market reports. Welcome back. Nigeria's stock market crashed further on Tuesday by 0.48%, with the market cap at 55.56 trillion naira. The market breadth also ended on a negative note as 28 stocks declined while only 15 stocks advanced. Unity Bank tops the decliners with an end-of-day price depreciation of 10% at 1 naira 62 kobo, followed by FBN Holdings, which closed at 25 naira 45 kobo. Now, at the end of today's trading session on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, a total of over 425 million volumes of shares were exchanged in 9,620 deals, corresponding to a market value of over 8 billion naira. Compared with the previous NGX trading day, which was Monday, May 6, today's data shows 7% decline in turnover and 9% decline in deals. Switching to our select global stock, reverse is the case for our global equities as the UK FTSE, US Dow Jones and Japan's Nikkei maintained the northward movement and ended in the bulls, with the UK's FTSE at 1.22%, the US Dow Jones at 0.17% and Japan's Nikkei at 1.57%. Now let's take a quick look at our foreign exchange market. The US dollar traded at 1,382 naira 62 kobo on the official market and 1,445 naira on the black market. The Great British pounds traded at 1,700 1,640 naira 22 kobo on the official market and traded at 1,780 naira on the black market. Now, the euros traded at 1,491.48 naira on the official market and traded at 1,500 naira on the black market. That's it on both business and stock market reports. Back to you, Simi, for the rest of the news.
Thank you very much, Joy. And on the foreign scene, rescue teams have worked through the night searching for dozens of construction workers buried for more than 12 hours under the rubble of concrete after a multi-story apartment complex under construction collapsed in the city of George, about 250 miles east of Cape Town on South Africa's south coast. Authorities on Tuesday announced that the death toll had risen to 5, while 49 workers remained buried in the mangled wreckage of the building, which collapsed on Monday afternoon. The authorities further explained that 21 workers had been rescued from the rubble and taken to various hospitals, with at least 11 of them suffering severe injuries. More than 100 emergency personnel and other responders were on the scene using sniffer dogs to try to locate workers, some of whom were trapped on the huge slabs of concrete that fell on them when the 5-story building came down. Russian President Vladimir Putin says it was up to the West to choose between confrontation and cooperation as he was sworn in for a new 6-year term on Tuesday at a Kremlin ceremony that was boycotted by the United States and many of its allies. More than 2 years into the war in Ukraine, Putin says he wanted to bow before Russia's soldiers there and declared in his inauguration speech that his landslide re-election in March was proof that the country was united and on the right track. Already, the longest-serving Kremlin ruler dominates the domestic political landscape. The 71-year-old told Russia's political elite that after being sworn in, that he was not rejecting dialogue with the West, including on nuclear weapons. And on sports, Super Eagles coach Finidi George is expected to meet with the officials of the Nigeria Football Federation (NFF) in Abuja later this week and could finally unveil his assistant. According to a report by Own Goal Nigeria, the meeting is expected to firm up his contract details, believing to be a 1-year deal with option of another year based on his performance at the next AFCON. The meeting will also be the chance for him to pick his assistant, after which he would be expected to resume work by submitting the list of invited players for the World Cup qualifiers in June against South Africa. Still on sports, Napoli striker Victor Osimhen has picked Chelsea over Paris Saint-Germain as his preferred destination should he depart the Diego Maradona Stadium in the summer transfer window. The Nigerian international is expected to leave Napoli at the end of the season, despite signing a new deal that would have kept him at the club until the end of the 2025-2026 campaign. The 25-year-old has established himself as one of the market center towards forwards in the world since his transfer to Napoli, netting 75 goals and registering 18 assists in 130 appearances across all competitions. Well, that's all on News Now. Many thanks for watching. See you again next time. Bye for now.